Welcome back to action from Zwartkops and the Extreme Festival of Motorsport, wrapping things up for 2021. It's Car Care Clinic SuperHatch time, and nice to see the fans are back, and they love the action from SuperHatch. Race number 1 would see a big battle for Class A, Class B, and Class C. Remember, the overall title still up for grabs as well. And it will be up to Jonathan du Toit to try and wrap things up and get as high in the points as possible in both of the races today to take on Shane Forget and possibly take that number 1 plate away from him. In race 1, they lined up, and it was a great start coming out of Louis Scholz, who also made a welcome return to the Car Care Clinic SuperHatch category. And as they headed down into turn 1, big action expected all the way through the fields between classes A, B, and C. Remember, all three of them having some big battles to sort out. Forget had to stay out of trouble, and he tried to do that in Class C by getting to the front almost instantaneously and trying to stay there, just behind the Class B competitors. Speaking of Class B, Malsberg got it out of shape, but unfortunately ended up on the outside of G&H Transport corner, allowing almost the entire field to squeeze through. She jumped in just behind Ishmael Beloy. There was a long way to go to try and catch up to the front end at that stage, but hit up by Louis Scholz, and problems in the background as well for Madonna Mfana. He got lit up and put on the sideline as the checkered flag came out there for Brett Garland to take the first victory. So Garland spoiling the day ever so slightly for Jonathan du Toit in second place, and Danhauser in third ahead of Henning. Stoltz and Schultz 1 and 2, and then it was Forget and Aldrich. So Shane Forget did it all right in Class C. Can he do it again now in race 2? Reverse grid, and Jonathan du Toit will have to get to the front and win if he wants to beat out any opportunity of Shane Forget taking the overall championship. And as they head down towards turn number 1, you can see just how tight and how hard it's going to be. Henning gets the whole shot, and it's Forget's teammate who's going to try and help his teammate out here, Andre Danhauser, who just tries to keep the Honda out. Jonathan du Toit going around the outside. Oh, absolutely brilliant stuff there from du Toit as he goes around the outside trying to find a way through there on Henning. Inside line for Andre Danhauser in the Pro Auto Rubber Corsa, and his teammate at the back of the field. So Shane Forget has got to move through the field rapidly. He's got to get through there on Aldrich. He's got to try and find a way through if he can to get to the front of Class C. Oh, what is this? Up the inside from Garland. Garland going a little bit too hair-raising into turn number 4, and there's big contact. Garland taking out Henning as he tried to go down the inside line on late braking. Henning gets going again. Garland's got some problems, and I thought that might be a call for a red flag. There was just too much fracas down in turn 4, and eventually this is what it all looked like. Louis Scholz's point of view there is Garland on the inside of Danhauser. Danhauser very lucky to avoid. He went inside, and then as you can see, coming through there was the ACD Welcome car, and he also got tagged. Luckiest man out of everybody there was Scholz. He just stayed out of harm's way and just threaded the needle through all of the chaos in front of him. Jonathan du Toit was also exceptionally lucky not to get tagged by any of those cars that were spinning out in front of him. The rain is coming down now big time, so a little bit of a change up in terms of what we had for race number 2 start 2. It's wet conditions. Jonathan du Toit is going to be absolutely reveling in this. We all know how good he is here at his home track, especially in these kind of conditions. They head down towards turn 1 again. Louis Scholz on the outside is Vessel Smith. The Angel Feeds Polo trying to just take the long way around. Malsberg back in it, but a long way to go for her as she comes under braking now for turn 2. Late braking. Where is Henning going? He goes straight. You can see he just got the braking all wrong there. Du Toit hits the front. You can see Garland's car has got some damage after that tag between those 4 cars he got involved with. And it's now all about Jonathan du Toit at the front end. This is exactly where he needs to be. Where is Forget? That's what we need to find out. Has he got to the front end of the Class C overall battle? If he has, it's a battle on. And if Jonathan du Toit stays where he is, he's going to win out Class A. But I don't think he's going to win the overall category if Shane Forget is in front. He's not in front at the moment. He's got to catch Aldrich. Francis Aldrich is just up the road from him. In fact, 5 cars up the road from him. So a bit of work now to do for Forget in the second heat. And of course, in very tricky conditions. How much more difficult do you want it to be for Shane Forget? Let's have a look at this from Jonathan du Toit's point of view as he comes down into turn 2. There goes Henning. He saw him coming, waited for him, said, "After you, sir." Then turned in. He realized the Polo was never going to make that braking marker stick. Here is Aldrich making mistakes. So Aldrich looking for his first win in Class C. Oh, and they can see just how difficult it's going to be. Garland is all over the place. And eventually that's Malsberg squeezing through. And I think that's Malsberg up into possibly second or third place overall with Louis Scholz following along. Brilliant stuff there. And Miles spins out. And so does Louis. Oh, man. And there's Garland with a tag as well. Garland's out of shape. He's going to be able to catch it. No, he's not. He's gone 180 degrees into turn 2. So 3 cars coming together again, coming out of turn number 1. And some absolute chaos here in the SuperHatch final. Brilliant stuff. All cars back on track, but a lot of work to do now for those guys and girls. This was Miles' point of view. She tipped it into turn 1. And there's a little bit of a puddle. She caught the puddle. Yeah, definitely caught a puddle there. And Louis Scholz did the same thing. Then tagged the back end of Garland. Garland then got out of shape and went 180 degrees into turn 2. on the sideline. Oh, problems there for Tishan Govender. And now where is Forget? Is Forget up in he's up the first. He's got ahead of Aldrich. So he is exactly where he needs to be. Look in the background. There's the little Corsa. So if Forget can stay where he is, that'll be overall championship in his bag. And of course, that'll be the #1 plate back on his car for 2022. But the race is not over. He's got Scholz on his tail looking for a way through. Louis Scholz trying to make up ground now. Wants to try and find a way back past Shane Forget. Great drive from Coral Stoltz. He's up in a second place overall. We haven't seen Jonathan du Toit because he's disappeared so far up the road. As I said, in rainy conditions, in that car, that little Honda Civic of his, it is a very, very good car in these kind of conditions, having raced against him in the past. Henning now, under a bit of pressure from Aldrich. Aldrich wants the win in Class C. He's not going to get the overall championship or anything in the championship to deal with. But Jonathan du Toit did it all right. Just not enough, though, to take the overall championship. Class A win and Class A championship for 2021 goes to Trans-Africa Racing's Jonathan du Toit. And look at that. Oh, Aldrich is not giving up without a fight. He's going to have a look and a go here in the drying conditions to get up the inside of Shane Forget, but Forget holds him out. Forget comes through for the victory in Class C. That will seal Class C and the overall Car Care Clinic SuperHatch title to Shane Forget. #1 plate stays at Pro Auto Rubber and Forget's Auto. Brilliant bit of race action there for the final round. Jonathan du Toit ahead of Henning and Garland. Coral Stoltz ahead of Mfana and Scholz. And Beloy there in 4th and 5th for Mel. Shane Forget, overall champion, takes the win in Class C. Let's catch up with him down in Park Vermey and see how it all went.
Tough battle, also with Francis Aldrich once again. And the rain wasn't helping at all. Had a bad launch. Spun in first gear, second gear, and third all the way on the launch. So yeah, I managed to catch them up. Everybody span out most of the competition. So yeah, hopefully we're back next year.